Delve into the enigma that was Albert Einstein. Uncover 5 lesser-known facts about the man who revolutionized physics. From his quirky habits to his unexpected hobbies, prepare to see Einstein in a light you never imagined. Stay tuned and enrich your knowledge about one of the greatest minds in history. Remember, every genius has a touch of the eccentric.
Did you know that Albert Einstein was also a passionate musician? Yes, the same Einstein who brought us the theory of relativity also brought music into his life, embracing it with a fervor that paralleled his love for science. Einstein's relationship with music was a deeply personal one. It was a love affair that began in his childhood, when he first picked up the violin. He was inspired by the musical compositions of Mozart, whose work he revered for its clarity and logical structure. The violin became Einstein's loyal companion, an instrument that he would carry with him throughout his life. But his musical journey didn't stop there. Einstein often found himself in the midst of impromptu music sessions, playing with friends and colleagues. These moments of spontaneous musicality provided a joyful respite from his scientific endeavors. They were moments when he could let his mind wander, allowing the music to guide his thoughts in new and unexpected directions. Einstein believed that his love for music was intertwined with his scientific thinking. He once said, "The theory of relativity occurred to me by intuition, and music is the driving force behind this intuition." He felt that the rhythms and harmonies of music echoed the underlying mathematical patterns of the universe. In this sense, his violin was not just a source of relaxation and enjoyment, but also a tool for exploring the mysteries of the cosmos. So the next time you listen to a beautiful piece of music, remember that Einstein too found solace and inspiration in the harmonious notes of a melody. And who knows, perhaps the music that you love could also spark a brilliant idea, just as it did for Einstein. So our beloved genius Einstein was not just about physics and mathematics, but also about beautiful melodies and harmonies. Have you ever heard about Albert Einstein being offered the presidency of Israel? It's an intriguing tale, one that reveals a different facet of Einstein, the renowned physicist. In the wake of Chaim Weizmann's passing, Israel's first president, a unique proposition was extended. Israel found itself in need of a new leader, and their sights were set on none other than Albert Einstein. Imagine that, the scientific genius, the man who revolutionized our understanding of the universe, being offered the chance to steer the course of a nation. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Einstein, the man who had reshaped the world of science, surprised everyone by declining the offer. His reasoning: he believed he lacked the necessary qualifications for such a political position. His response was one of humility and self-awareness, a testament to his character. Einstein was a man of science, first and foremost. His world was one of equations and theories, of challenging the known boundaries of knowledge. He was not a politician, and he understood that. The role of a president requires a different skill set, one that involves diplomacy, negotiation, and an understanding of the intricate workings of a nation's politics. Einstein knew that his strengths lay elsewhere. He chose to stick to his realm of expertise, to continue contributing to the world in the way he knew best. While the offer to become Israel's president was undoubtedly an honor, Einstein was wise enough to recognize that it was not his path. He understood that his place was not in the political arena, but in the world of science, where he continued to push the boundaries and inspire generations to come. So, there you have it, the story of how Einstein, the man of science, was offered the throne of Israel and chose to decline. His decision underscores his humility and his dedication to his true passion, science. Yes, Einstein, the man of science, chose to remain just that, avoiding the political arena. Did you know Einstein wrote an unusual contract before marrying Mileva Maric? Now this is an interesting tidbit that often escapes the usual narrative about the genius scientist. We're talking about a man who was as methodical in his personal life as he was in his scientific pursuits. Einstein's marriage contract with Mileva Maric was far from conventional. This unique contract was penned by Einstein himself, and it had some truly peculiar clauses. One of the most distinctive ones was that Mileva had to promise to provide him with 3 hot meals a day. This was no casual request, but a stipulation explicitly written into their marriage contract. It seems Einstein was as exacting about his diet as he was about his scientific formulas. But wait, there's more. Another clause required Mileva to clean his study. Einstein was known for his cluttered workspace, believing that a messy desk was a sign of a busy mind. Perhaps he wanted to ensure that his creative chaos was maintained just so, without any unnecessary disruptions. And then there was the most unusual clause of all, a clause that required Mileva to refrain from physical closeness without his explicit consent. This might seem strange to us now, but in the context of Einstein's intensely focused and often solitary lifestyle, it starts to make a bit more sense. In many ways, this odd contract reflects the idiosyncrasies of Einstein's character. It reveals a man who was deeply dedicated to his work and who sought to maintain a certain order and routine in his personal life, even if it meant imposing unusual conditions on his marriage. It's fascinating to see how Einstein's scientific mind was at work even in his personal life. From his revolutionary theories to his quirky marriage contract, it's clear that Einstein was a man who thought differently, challenging norms and expectations at every turn. Einstein's scientific mind was clearly at work even in his personal life, creating one of the most unusual marriage contracts in history. Were you aware of Einstein's strong stand against racism? This is a lesser-known facet of the renowned physicist's life that indeed deserves attention. Albert Einstein was not just a genius in the realm of science, but also a fervent advocate for civil rights and equality. His actions spoke volumes about his commitment to these causes, and one particular incident in 1946 serves as a shining example. In that year, Einstein was invited to South Africa, a country then deeply mired in the throes of racial segregation. The invitation was for him to deliver a lecture, an opportunity any intellectual would crave. But Einstein, being the man of principle he was, refused to speak in a place that segregated people based on the color of their skin. His decision was a bold one, considering the stature of the invite and the societal norms of the time. This incident wasn't an isolated one. Throughout his life, Einstein used his influence to champion the cause of racial equality. He was deeply troubled by the racial injustices prevalent in his era and did what he could to fight against them. Einstein's stance against racism wasn't merely a personal belief. He saw it as a scientific necessity. He believed in the unity of the human race, a unity that transcends racial, ethnic, and national boundaries. He once said, "I believe in standardizing automobiles. I do not believe in standardizing human beings." Einstein's words and actions echo his belief in the uniqueness and worth of every individual, regardless of their race or color. It's crucial to remember that Einstein was not a politician or a social reformer. He was a scientist, yet he took a stand against racism, an issue that many in his position would have chosen to avoid. His courage and commitment to equality serve as a reminder that anyone, irrespective of their profession, can and should take a stand against social injustices. Einstein's courage to stand against racism adds another dimension to his already fascinating character. This aspect of his life truly complements the genius of Einstein, making him not just a celebrated scientist but also a man of profound integrity and humanity. Have you heard that Einstein's brain has been preserved for scientific research? That's right, even in death, the genius of Albert Einstein continues to fascinate and inspire. In the year 1955, Einstein passed away. During the autopsy, with the permission of his son, his brain was carefully removed. This was not a usual procedure, but then again, Einstein was not your usual individual. The brain that formulated the theory of relativity that revolutionized our understanding of space, time, and gravity was deemed too precious to be lost. For decades, Einstein's brain was preserved, not as a morbid curiosity, but for the pursuit of knowledge. The hope was to uncover the secrets behind his exceptional cognitive abilities. Maybe, just maybe, the physical structure of his brain held the key to understanding his genius. The brain was sectioned into several hundred thin slices for meticulous examination. Over the years, many studies have been conducted on these slices. Some researchers have claimed to find differences in Einstein's brain that might explain his brilliance. These include a larger parietal lobe, which is involved in spatial understanding and mathematical thought, and an extra fold in the brain's gray matter. However, it's important to note that these findings remain controversial. Many scientists argue that it's not the structure of the brain but how it's used that matters. They caution against oversimplifying the source of Einstein's intelligence and remind us that his curiosity, creativity, and dedication were equally important. Nevertheless, the preservation of Einstein's brain symbolizes our human quest for understanding. It represents our fascination with genius, our desire to learn, and our relentless pursuit of knowledge. Even after his departure, Einstein continues to contribute to the world of science through his preserved brain. His legacy, both intellectual and physical, remains an enduring testament to his extraordinary life and mind.